Time now for another indoor track and field update with head coach Brant Tolsma. And Coach, recently you had a split squad meet, sent some runners down to Samford, down in Birmingham, and had an event here. So recap those and what you liked.
Well, Coach Pete and I went down to Alabama with 22 athletes. There's a beautiful facility down there, hydraulic bank track, owned by the city of Birmingham, and that was the first time we saw it. We really went down there to get on a great facility and to give our some of the better athletes on the team an opportunity to have a trip and experience what it's like to fly and then compete the next day and fly back. And the first time you do something like that, it can make competing tough, but you got to get used to that if you're going to go on to big meets. So we like to give the athletes that opportunity. We've been to other years. We went to Arkansas. Last year we went to Albuquerque, but this year we just went down to Alabama.
You mentioned hydraulic banked track. Tell me about that. What are the advantages of having one of those?
It can change the angle of the bank. So when you're running the 200, which would be the fastest event, they can bank the track a little higher. If you're running something like the 5,000 a little slower, they put it at a lower bank. And so you can run fast times, basically. And, it's about $1 million above a regular track to do a hydraulic bank. I think there's about 10 of them in the country right now. We were on one, Penn State was the first one, and we were there a couple weeks ago. So, it's fun.
You had 3 winners in that some events down there in Alabama. So break down Jocelyn, what she did, and some of the other winners.
Yeah, the competition for Jocelyn, she threw well enough that she didn't have anybody really pushing her too hard. And, she's a good thrower, so that was nice to see. Plus, it was a scored meet, and that was the first event, so it was nice to put up 10 points. We weren't expecting to win the meet when we went with just 13 girls and 9 guys. But I think our men finished 7th out of 14, and our women were 5th out of, 13. So with just a few there, we were certainly satisfied with that. The 3,000 also wasn't one of the more competitive events, but Titus just kind of stayed with the leaders the whole way and was able to pull away at the end for a win. And David Scouten pulled down 16 points for the men by winning the weight and then getting 3rd in the shot. And he had a couple, I think, season best in the weight anyway. So he's in a good position as we're getting ready to go into conference.
Yeah, you talk about that February 26th and 27th, the Indoor Championships down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Obviously not this weekend, but the following week. So between now and then, what are some things this team's are working on?
Well, yesterday we worked on nothing because the school was closed for snow. Monday, a few of them got in some work before they shut down school. So we go there today. We're going to have to do things individually based upon who did what so far this week. It's possible some of our athletes, with the meets being Friday last week, they took Saturday off, Sunday off, and Monday off, and Tuesday off. Not what we would have chosen, but we'll have to make adjustments, do the best we can. That's the way life is. It doesn't always go the way you expect.
How about your driveway? Still covered, or have you gotten that taken care of?
I did. My back is telling me that I shoveled snow for 5 hours yesterday. I shoveled 2 driveways. I'm one of these guys blessed to have 2 driveways. Okay. My wife parks on one side and me on the other, so of course I did her side first. But after I got that done, I thought I wanted get my car out too. So if I don't work out today, that'll be all right, because I did about a week's worth of workout yesterday.
I'm making a little bit with me as well. Shoveled some of mine off, still have half of it to go when I get home from work today. Coach, we talked about sending athletes down to Alabama, but here on campus, same weekend, the Liberty Quad. I know you're proud of the heptathlon and the job that those student athletes did. It
was great to see, especially Tevan, get the kind of score we knew he could do for a while, because he's been plagued with some injuries. Almost scored 5,200, which is really good, #1 in the conference by a bunch. And then sophomore Zach Davis put a score up over 5,000 as well. So Coach Bingham works with those guys, and they've been coming along well, and certainly very happy to see that result as we go into conference.
Coach, we talked about the heptathlon, 7 events. Is there one that the athletes enjoy more than the other?
Well, some people are good at one, so usually you enjoy what you're good at. Zach Davis is a very good high jumper. That was the first thing he did. But it's actually more about how well you do in your bad events than it is how well you do in your good events. You get more points when you do really well, but the key is to be even through the event. And the guy who makes a good multi-event athlete is not as much the guy with a couple outstanding events as the guy who's level. Tevan's that kind of athlete. He doesn't help us in any one event that much, but he's also pretty solid in everything. So when he puts it all together with 7 events, right now I guess he's the odds-on favorite to take the conference, and that would sure be nice to see.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best luck as you prepare for the Indoor Track and Field Championships next week.
Thank you.
That's head coach Brant Tolsma. I'm Alan York for Liberty Flame Sports Network.